The On the Hill video you're about to watch was filmed prior to the impact of COVID-19 on our industry. In the next installment of this series, we plan to bring you insights and comments from Chip Rogers, President and CEO of AHLA, who, along with other industry leaders, is monitoring the evolving situation and providing guidance to help hoteliers navigate this challenging time.
Welcome to On the Hill 2020, a quarterly series dedicated to informing hoteliers of the latest legislative updates in the hospitality industry. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Alan Roleri, publisher of Hotel Business, and I'm here with Chip Rogers, President and CEO of AHLA.
Thank you, Alan.
Thanks for being here. Here we go
Always
again.
Good to be with you. Yeah. Another great year headed your way.
Absolutely. Right? So speaking of which, 2019 was an exciting year for the AHLA. Let's talk a little bit about the record growth and engagement over last year.
Yeah, so we had record growth with membership, which is absolutely wonderful, now up to 3.2 million rooms represented by AHLA. And then, of course, the news that started with the beginning of 2020 was that Choice Hotels joined AHLA, which now means that the top 10 hotel brands in the world are all part of AHLA. But that's just beginning to scratch the surface. There are hundreds of other companies that are in and around the hospitality industry that are also members of AHLA. So yeah, we're growing. That is a good thing. But I think the result of that is having a unified industry that can take on these issues.
Right. Excellent. So speaking of which, advocacy is a big topic of discussion in the series that we do together. So talk a little bit about the priorities for the coming year when it comes to advocacy.
Well, really, I would put two major issues at the top, though we have a list of about 12 issues that we work on at some level. Issue number one is illegal short-term rentals. We continue to deal with that. And you see cities and counties everywhere working on this particular issue. The interesting thing is what happens in one place may look completely different what happens in some place else because of the difference in the local communities, which is why when we work with states on this issue, we remind them again and again, this really ought not be a state issue. It really needs to be left to the local communities because they're going to be able to decide what's best for the people in that community. And all the polling that has been done shows that the people want their local representatives, their city councils, their county commissions to deal with this issue. And we're seeing it happen every week. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't see a news report on another city or county that has adopted some sort of ordinance. The second big issue is one we're being very proactive about, and that is human trafficking training. How do we as an industry set ourselves in a place of leadership where we're not only tackling the problem, meeting our goal or trying to achieve our goal, which is every employee in the entire industry being trained, but also set an example for other industries to say, hey, they were able to do that. Now we can do it in our industry to tackle the same issue of human trafficking.
Speaking of which, so January was National Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and I know that the AHLA hosted a number of events to bring attention to this critical issue. So can you share a little bit with us about the progress being made in that area?
Well, great progress, and I'm glad that we have things like the Human Trafficking Awareness Month because I think years ago people probably had the idea that this issue is so ugly, it's so dirty, I don't want to talk about it, and if I just ignore it, it'll go away. And what we've said is, no, the best way to make it go away is to stop it, and the best way to stop it is to shine a really big, bright light on it and say, look, this problem exists. What are we as society going to do to stop it? So from the hotel industry, we now have over 1 million people that have been trained to see the signs of human trafficking. All of the major brands across the board have some form of human trafficking training, every single one of them. And so we will ultimately get to where we want to be, and that is if you're entering into the hotel industry, you're going to be trained, and there will be refresher courses, whether it's every year or every couple of years, to make sure we're staying on top of the best practices. Because, look, these folks that are in this industry, it is a dangerous, dirty, but profitable industry, and they'll try to find ways around it, so we've got to stay one step ahead of them.
Yeah. So I understand that the HLA made some exciting announcements at Alice. So can you share some of that with us?
Well, first of all, our AHLAEF is now just the AHLA Foundation. We think that's a lot easier. As you see, I even struggle to say the acronym.
We have too many acronyms in our business. We really do.
AHLA Foundation. And what that does is it provides the resources to work on things like job training, certification, apprenticeship programs, or opportunity youth program. So we had an incredible Night of 1,000 Stars. That's our annual gala. And we raised, in totality, well over $700,000 to help propel these things. And we're going to, of course, take those resources and do those things I talked about. But one of them that I think is really interesting is this Opportunity Youth program that we have, which goes into inner cities and finds young people who have the skills, the talents, the drive to be in our industry, but they're out of work and out of school. We're focused on those between 16 and 24. We're expanding that effort from 6 cities, ultimately to about 10 cities in 2020, which is fantastic, putting a lot more money in it. And then, of course, the scholarships, we'll give out over $1 million this year in scholarships to students that are in hospitality schools. What we're trying to do is make sure that we're providing the workforce for our industry. And as you know, with unemployment at record levels, 22 straight months under 4%, it's hard to find people. And so we've taken it upon ourselves to make sure that we're doing our part in helping create that workforce.
Excellent. Well, Chip, thank you so much for the information today. For those of you who would like to get more involved in the AHLA, you could go to ahla.com for more information. And on behalf of Hotel Business, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.